Okay, so now we have Lisa Murphy, and she is from Sosu Sauce. Can you talk a little bit more about the name?
Yeah, so Sosu actually has, the name means sauce in Japanese.
How do you pronounce it? Sosu?
Sosu, it's S-O-S-U with a dash across the O.
Okay.
And we chose that name because our company makes sauce. And our first product is ketchup. And we do different varieties of ketchup and different flavors of ketchup.
Start thinking about doing your own business, you don't necessarily think, oh, I want to sell sauce. So how did that idea come about?
So actually it was my friend, he challenged me to make a ketchup better than Heinz.
Oh.
And I said, okay, I'm going to take on the challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. And my first ketchup was actually a truffle ketchup. Nice. And truffles are basically a black mushroom that has a lot of aroma and flavor. And I realized it didn't really work out because when you cook it, the mushroom basically kind of deteriorates and there's not much flavor from the mushroom anymore.
Okay.
So I started doing different kind of experiments with different flavors, and then I ended up doing ketchup and lemongrass ketchup and spicy ketchup, and I kind of just caught on. What's really important for us is if you look at the sauce market today, it's very filled with sauces that are high fructose corn syrup or just stuff that's made from paste that's not good for you.
Okay.
So when we thought about making a sauce, we wanted to make something that's healthy so that people who are busy or want to experiment with Asian flavors, they're able to just pick up a sauce from the store and then recreate that experience, whether they're in Thailand or Indonesia, with that flavor profile.
Okay, and it was interesting in the presentation you mentioned that ketchup has some origins in China, so can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, not people know that. So
ketchup is very American, I would say.
American. I mean, it's the all-American condiment.
Yeah.
But the root word ketchup is actually comes from a Cantonese dialect that means ketchup. Ketchup, back in the days, means fish sauce.
Okay.
So the very first ketchup was actually a fish condiment that started in the Guangzhou area, and then it started evolving where the West and the East trade happened. It was brought to Europe, and they started doing different flavors. So you had mushroom ketchup, you had anchovy-based ketchup, and it wasn't until the late 1800s when Heinz commercialized the ketchup that we're familiar with, tomato-based. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I had no idea. You think ketchup, you think tomato-based, but there's all these other flavors that you can infuse with it too.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite flavor?
So my favorite flavor is Thai chup, and the inspiration comes from a Thai tom yum soup.
Oh, I love
that. Have you had that? Okay.
Yes, I love it.
So the soup is just amazing because it has acidity, it has sourness, and it has a little bit of spice, and it's a very clean soup, right? So I wanted to take that flavors from the soup and make it into a condiment. So I started with orange tomatoes, and I mixed it a little bit with lemongrass and yellow curry. So if you taste that ketchup, it tastes like tom yum soup. And it's really good when you start matching with different things like making a soup or doing seafood. You can really work with it just because it is so much fresh ingredients.
So what's the dish that you make with Thai chup?
I do a lot of kind of baked chicken wings. So I do a little bit of Thai chup, a little bit of soy sauce, and then just bake it in the oven. Also, Thai chup works really well with seafood just because that lemongrass flavor gives it a very light taste. So it's crab season in San Francisco, so you can buy a crab, just put a little bit of Thai chup, a little bit of white wine, and just let it steam with that broth, and it's just really good.
I'm hungry already. And what's next for your company?
We are making a whiskey-aged sriracha.
You guys are really getting creative with this thing.
So we're really trying to play around with different process and different kind of flavors. So whiskey barrels tends to have a very oaky flavor, which works really well with sriracha because sriracha, it's pretty spicy. But you have to ferment it. So we're thinking about fermenting it in a whiskey barrel and getting that oak flavor into the sriracha. So it's not only spicy, but it's got that smoky, oaky flavor that's just very complex. So if you enjoy a whiskey, you will enjoy the whiskey sriracha.
Well, there you go. There you have it. Thanks so much for your time, Lisa.
Yeah.
And do you want to say something in Mandarin?
Yeah.
Maybe just... There you go. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you so much.